Hopefully. There we go. Hi 61. Hi. Hi, Captain Lee fan. I am very interested in this story, but will listen from bed. All three of us feel bad. Oh boy, mushrooms and pizza? Yikes. Hope you're okay. Hi, Justina. Hi, Lasso Lacey. Good to see you here. Let me see. I'm not in. Let me get into live chat. That'd be good if I do that, right? Hello. Let's see. So Lacey, Justina, Deborah, Linda, L, Margot, Farm Wife. I don't know. Did I miss somebody here? I feel like I missed somebody. I wonder where Linda Uribe is. I hope she's okay. John Wasaki, good to see you. I wonder where Linda Uribe is. I hope she's okay. All right, so this is a really crazy case. It's about a Hollywood agent that worked. Hi, Carolyn P. Good to see you. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Jane, who worked for William Morris, who was an agent to Dolly Parton and Ray Romano and other big stars. Well, his son, Sam Haskell IV, 35 years old. Let me get a picture of Sam over here. He made some bizarre TikTok videos as well. But I'll show you a picture of what he looks like. Okay. And I'll tell you about this. Okay. So anyway, let me get a picture of the house that they lived in. They lived in California, 3 little boys. His wife is 37, and it was May, M-E-I. And he paid these laborers $500 to remove some bags that he said were rocks from his house. And the only problem was they weren't bags of rocks. So the workers said, oh, wait a minute, these feel funny, they feel soft, they feel spongy, they feel like meat, not rocks. So they looked inside one of them, and they found what looked to be a belly button and body parts, right? Freaked out, obviously. They brought the bags back to his house, to Sam Haskell's house, left them on the driveway. Immediately went to the police, and what's later been learned is that they went to 2 different police stations that basically turned them away before the 3rd one. Crazy, right? Okay, so May Lee Haskell, 37. Her torso was found by a homeless person inside a dumpster. Then there was surveillance footage of this guy right here from his Tesla dumping body parts at a strip mall dumpster. So he was arrested. His house was searched, looked like a crime scene, and guess what else? So we know that his wife is deceased, her torso identified in a dumpster, but her parents, who are from China, her mother's 64 years old, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name, and her father, 71, are still missing. Let me get his house up here now. Okay, here's the house. And then we're going to go into a little bit of a deep dive on this. So here's the house. It's a 6-bedroom house. The detective, Efren Gutierrez of the Los Angeles Police, said that officers had been sent to a residence on Coldstream Terrace in Tarzana, California on Tuesday night because construction workers had reported seeing a dead body inside a plastic bag. When the officers arrived, nothing was located, Mr. Gutierrez said. There was no evidence that allowed the officers to make entry into the home. But the next morning, a person that was looking through dumpsters found a bag with a woman's torso. Now, I don't really understand this because, see, the workers said they left the bags on the driveway. Did he intercept them? Did he take them back out and throw them somewhere while they were calling the police? Probably. And I'll show you the surveillance footage of him. So this is a prominent Hollywood family that's at the center of this investigation. Mr. Sam Haskell IV is the son of Sam Haskell III, who's a veteran talent agent and film producer, and Mary Haskell, an actress who in 1977 was crowned Miss Mississippi. Sam's sister, Mary Lane Haskell, is also an actress. Calls placed to numbers belonging to Haskell's parents were not immediately returned from media asking for comments. Let's see here. His father once worked at the William Morris Agency, where he was an executive vice president in the 1990s. He was once considered one of the most powerful agents in the industry, and he represented such clients as George Clooney, Ray Romano, and Whoopi Goldberg, Dolly Parton. He was the longtime head of the Miss America organization. His tenure ended in 2017 amid a scandal about derogatory remarks that he and other pageant leaders made about the competition's contestants. Okay, I'm going to show you the new surveillance of Sam. Hang on 1 second. Okay. So newly released video appears to show Sam Haskell IV dumping a large bag where a woman's torso was found in Encino, California. The surveillance shows a man, Samuel Bond Haskell IV, 35 years old, dumping a large black bag in a parking lot near Ventura Boulevard and Rubio Avenue in the broad daylight. His wife's torso, May Haskell, 37, her torso was found in that bag. It was found by a homeless man. He was driving into there in a white, I believe it's a Tesla. See, there's a lot of stuff that's not, some people call it something else here. Okay. Police first learned of allegations against Sam when landscapers reported seeing what seemed like body parts outside his home. Now, they were hired for $500. They were asked to dump 3 large bags a day before the woman's torso was found. Surveillance video of what appears to be laborers moving the bags that day before deciding not to dump them was also found. The bags were gone by the time the police arrived, though investigators returned to the house after the torso was found, and then they discovered blood and other evidence that was consistent with a crime scene of murder and dismemberment inside the house. So they arrested Sam November 8th, at the Topanga Mall, and they charged him with 1 count of murder. And again, her parents are missing. Her parents were living in the house with them, and they're now missing. And I don't know, the testing of whatever has been done. Police are also looking for 2 missing SUVs, a white Volkswagen Tiguan with a California license plate 9ANC890 and a white Nissan Pathfinder with a California license plate of 7FRM190. May's parents were last seen in one of those SUVs, police say. The couple's 3 young sons were removed from their respective schools following the gruesome discovery, and they're staying with relatives. Okay, so let's look into this a little bit more, and I'm going to get those pictures of him dumping this stuff. He made these babbling videos on his TikTok channel. I think they took his TikTok channel down. Hold on, because I have my notes on this, and I put them in my emails. So let me go to my notes. I emailed my notes to myself. Okay. All right, so here's what we have. The laborers, again, paid $500 to pick up bags, hired by Sam Haskell IV, told they were rocks, but they felt like there was meat inside, according to the workers. Bags were heavy and felt soft and soggy. One of the workers looks inside and notices body parts, including a belly button. So they bring the bags, leave them on the driveway of Haskell's house. Again, they go to the police, and now amid reports that they were turned away from 2 different police stations. So I'm looking at that. When the torso of a woman was found the next day, because the police came back, the bags were gone. There was no evidence to go into the house at that point. They didn't go in. And then the very next day, bags were found with a torso by a homeless man. The torso happened to be May Haskell's, Sam's wife. Once that was found, they could go into the house, where they found evidence of a crime scene. Murder and dismemberment seemed to have occurred there. And that's when this other surveillance photo was come out, and he was arrested at a strip mall in Topanga, California. A video that Sam posted to his TikTok account shows him rambling about a variety of things, from burnt steak to feeling bitter and resentful. And I quote him saying, "Now I'm constantly, never going to stop drinking." The Haskell's next-door neighbor, Elle Banami, said that she last saw May about a week ago in the morning as she was driving the kids to school. And again, that homeless man who was rummaging through a dumpster just a few miles from the Haskell's home found a female torso stuffed inside a duffel bag. And he has been arrested, charged with murder. And I want to go to now. Let's get to... Let me get these pictures. It's a crazy story, isn't it? Here's a picture of May Haskell. Come on. Okay, this is May. She had her own Instagram too, where she posted photos. This is his dad. It is an Emmy Award winning television guy. No, that's not the one. I'm trying to get this one. Hang on. This is the one. This right here, this man right here is Sam Haskell III. That was in September of 2021 at the Emmy Awards, where they won for Outstanding Television Movie for Dolly Parton's Christmas on the Square. Okay, let me get back here. Oh, come on. So let's take a little look into a little bit of a deeper look into what's going on here. This is crazy. Trying to take some of this stuff down. So I don't know how many of you have been looking at this case, but it's been out there the last few days, along with a couple other cases like that guy in Indiana that shot his wife 7 times in the car in front of their 2 young children on their way to JCPenney for a photo shoot for the holidays. Killed her, yeah, definitely. And then we have, where's the other one? The Nebraska girl that gave birth to her baby, horrifically killed her baby, put her in a closet where the parents found her. The grandparent would be the child's grandparents, the woman who gave birth's parents in Nebraska, and it was a 16-year-old, and now she's been arrested, and the baby's gone. Was just murdered horrifically. So I'm going to tell you about those 2, but I want to go into this one a little more. I just don't know why this doesn't want to let me get in here. Okay, come on, let me get in here. All right, finally it's letting me back. What I want to do first is go into here. One of my favorite things to do is a deep dive on a case, just especially a brand new case, because you never know what you could find. Okay, so let me go over here and okay. Okay, so here's some stuff here. Apparently this is Sam. Younger days, these are public photos on Facebook, on social media. Okay, so they have 3 children. In-laws live together in a $2.5 million mansion. don't know why they're saying. So a neighbor said the family was beautiful and the lady of the house was nice, but her husband was clearly just not right somewhere. There were bloodstains and other evidence that were found inside their home. Let's see. A lot of people are posting on social media. They knew the father, they knew him, they knew someone there. They're putting their thoughts out there. And I still don't think the parents have been found at all. Let's see here. Okay, here's the pictures I wanted to show you over here. These were from TMZ. Shows him dumping this bag. Into the dumpsters there. That's him and his Tesla. Let's see. So that was him pulling into the parking lot late Tuesday afternoon in the white Tesla. He parked by the dumpster, opened up the back, grabbed what appeared to be a large, heavy garbage bag, struggles as he places it on his shoulder, hurls it into the trash bin. Okay, let me get the cops swarmed the area quickly. Okay, that's the same location where earlier a homeless person found a dismembered human torso. So the cops moved in, and then given that they were at his house before, he left his home and his Tesla around 4:22, and at 4:45 he pulled in and dropped a large trash bag in the bin. The bin's 6 miles from the house. The time matches up, and no word on where those other bags went. But that's what they've got there. And back here. So his father had some issues as well regarding, and a lot of people are talking about it. So regarding the Miss America pageant, and let me put that there, and I'll tell you what that is, because let's make this a little smaller. So his dad is accused of bullying Miss America contestants months before son's arrest for alleged murder. I believe it was kind of years before, but let's see. Former pageant contestant Mallory Hagan She was crowned in 2013, said she sank into a depression after feeling shunned by the organization, claiming that Haskell Sr. was responsible for a smear campaign against her while appearing in an A&E 2023 docuseries, Secrets of Miss America. When she first crossed her paths with Haskell III, Sam Haskell III, that's this murder suspect here's father, he advised her, this Miss America's crazy. Don't talk to this Miss America, which she said planted a seed. It definitely instilled a subconscious fear of, are there other people that I shouldn't admit I have a relationship with? I definitely was not prepared for the insanity. Psychological warfare. It had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with the person used to being in control of those around him. She claimed the mistreatment intensified when she started dating Haskell's former assistant, Brent Adams. Adams alleged that Sam would say these things, like she was a SLUT or a horrible person or whatever. I'm like, what are you talking about? It was about control. He controls everyone and everything in his life, and if you go against him, he cuts you out. Haskell III became the CEO of the organization in 2005 after making a name for himself as a heavy-hitting Hollywood broker at William Morris, where he represented many A-listers, including George Clooney, Dolly Parton, even Prince Edward. R. Kelly's... No, that's not what I'm talking about. Oh, my gosh. He was among the 3 organization leaders to resign after emails were leaked, and one of which blasted Hagen as fat and gross. She also learned that Haskell called her a whore and trailer trash. In meeting with CBS, venting how the salacious gossip spread about her eventually led to her losing job opportunities. He previously addressed, this Sam Haskell III previously addressed the emails and explained that he was under stress from a year full of attacks by 2 Miss Americas, and while I don't want to offer an excuse, I do want to offer context. He reiterated that much of what was reported was dishonest, deceptive, and despicable. That material is based on private emails that were stolen. Those who know my heart know that it is not indicative of my character, nor is it indicative of my business acumen. So the father had his own scandals there. And what did this, I want to see what did this son of his, this 35-year-old son, what was he doing with his life? What did he do with his life? Right? Was he just on... Or did he have some position in some fake company? Or whatever? Let's see. Let me go back in. Shut down some of these other windows because it's not allowing me to do my thing. Hi, little lady. Hi, Judy. Yeah, it's really strange, right, Judy? I am going to do a little bit of diving. That's what I like to do. And it's looking like there's a lot of entitlement, of course, but I don't know what he was doing. I want to look into more about what was he doing. What did his wife do? Where are her parents? I don't think, sadly, I'd have to say, where are her parents? Where are those other 3 bags? Where did he put those? What's this claim that these laborers went to 2 police stations that didn't listen to them? Is that valid? But we have to just do a little diving. And if this is not going to let me dive on this, I'm going to just restart my Google. I have to just restart it. It'll be 1 second, and then we'll be able to go wherever the heck we want to go. Let me see here. Okay, let's end those processes. How's about that? We'll end you, and we'll start anew. No, I'm not ending the live. I'm just ending my stupid Chrome. There we go. Okay, now I'm frozen. It's okay. I'll be unfrozen in a second. There we are. Okay. I'm still here. I know it's a black screen now, but it'll come back in a second. It will be back in a second. I'm just going to get rid of, there we go. Okay, now I'm back there. I'm just waiting for this to catch up. Catch up. Here we go. So what can I get rid of here? Okay, I think it's going to be okay now. I'm going to open up Chrome and it should be fine. I'm not going to restore anything. I'm just going to start from scratch. Alright, great. I'm going to open you guys up, and then I'm going to go into, let's do some investigating and see what's going on with this guy. Okay, so we want to look up Sam. That's really weird. You know why I say it's weird? Because I just looked him up a minute ago. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay, here's another shot of him at that dumpster by TMZ that they got. You see him really struggling to pick up something. Here's another picture of him. As I said, he did make videos where he would babble on about burnt steak and feeling bitter and this was his wife, who he's now been arrested for her murder. And her parents are still missing. So get this one now, okay? Here's some more information. So these workers, right? They came back, they gave him the money back. He tried to pass the body parts off as Halloween props. But the guys were like, no, we're not doing it. They immediately tried to report the discovery to 2 separate police stations, but they were turned away. They don't say really why they were turned away, but they were. The kids were found safe at school, and they were turned over to the Department of Children and Family Services. Now, Haskell once described himself as a director and posted several clips online of low-budget videos. He has a history of violence. He was arrested and charged with 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon in December of 2008, to which he pled no contest to battery, and he was placed on 3 years probation in 2010. So, okay, we know now that he has a violent history, right? Okay, he was charged with 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, and in 2008 had 3 years of probation. In 2010, let's see what else we can find out about this guy. A video that he posted to his TikTok account showed him rambling about a variety of things and feeling bitter and resentful. And I don't think his account is still up. Let me see here, because I don't think it is. Okay, then El Benami, that Benami was a close friend of May's and is distraught over her disappearance. She said outwardly they didn't seem to be very warm with each other or affectionate or have some great marriage, but I did not know of there being any issues. But they're very different in the sense that she was very outgoing, very social, and he's not. He's more reserved and quiet. A woman that taught violin to one of their children went to the home on Saturday morning but was unaware of anything that happened. It said, I don't even know what to say because they were such a nice family. I've been here every week for almost a year. She last saw the whole family on November 4th. She said everything seemed normal. According to reports, Sam worked as a successful director and producer before his arrest on suspicion of murder. He is currently being held without bail. Again, they're looking for 2 missing SUVs, a white Volkswagen Tiguan and a Nissan Pathfinder, and that May's parents were last seen in one of those SUVs. Police believe the victim was killed sometime within the past few days. Anyone with information, please call LAPD at 1-877-275-5273. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so here comes somebody again, grain of salt. This is a public post. This woman could be who she is, whatever. She's posted a picture of Sam Haskell IV's father, Sam Haskell III, and says, geez, I knew Sam Haskell. She says senior, okay, but it's the third. When I was at Ole Miss, he was a fellow student, lots of charisma, and would see him every year at the I Miss Mississippi picnic in Los Angeles, where he became an agent and producer. He headed the Miss America pageant for years, until a few years ago when some emails were leaked with him calling contestants the C word etc. And it became obvious he was a sociopath. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but damn. Okay, again, that's the public post on social media. Neighbors of Sam Haskell say that he seemed weird. Let's see. See if there's any comments over here about. Nothing going on there. I wonder if let me see if I can find him here. Okay, so someone's posting that he killed the entire family, but I haven't seen anything where her parents have been found. But it does seem that way, yeah. I think they're still looking for those 3 bags. Let's see. Inside his Hollywood career. What did he do? If he was a director, what was he directing? Okay, let's see. Here's his Twitter account. Let me see if his Twitter account is still up. I'm not finding the Twitter account. He also directed photo shoots with actresses Olivia Holt and Brenda Song. On his website, he wrote, "I want to create visuals that move boundaries by bringing millennial artists together." He had numerous social media accounts under the name Sam Haskell Jr., Samuel Bashinger, and Tragus Streets. He shared videos on TikTok and Instagram complaining about life in Hollywood and making fun of celebrity gossip. In one clip he said, "Shout out to LinkedIn for making it so much more streamlined for me to be told no repeatedly." In another, he told his followers, "My resume says unhappy, bitter, resentful." Let's see here. He was reportedly working on his directorial and writing debut titled Harvard Law, which stars Miki Koga, Alex Kawaguchi, and Kaylee Go. May's parents, who live with the couple, and their 3 children in Tarzana, police are now searching for them. Let's see, anything else about I'm gonna go about what he's saying. Let's see if some of his social media is still around. Come on, mister. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to see if any of his social media is still up. Sometimes they take it down, sometimes they don't. You can bet anything has been, okay, let's see here. So annoying. What is taking all this? Shouldn't be. I closed down almost everything and restarted this. Okay, so let's see why this is not wanting to let me in there. Alright, wait a second. Come on, buddy. Why isn't it? Okay. I think I'm just gonna shut. Maybe I should just shut this down and see if I can redo that. Okay. All right. Let me see. I'm just going to try a different browser. I'm tired of dealing with this crap with Chrome. It's just, I don't know why I didn't even think. Let me just do that. Yeah, let's restart it. Come on. Technology is so fun, isn't it? So fun. Okay. No, we're going to forget about you, Chrome. We don't really want to talk to you anymore. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to stop touching it for a minute. So anyway, what do you think of this? So this guy just seriously thinks he's going to kill his wife if he killed her parents too, dismembered them in the house, have some laborers haul the evidence away, and he's scot-free when he knows there's all those surveillance cameras all around, that nobody's going to come looking for his wife or her parents, that he can just get away with this because he's the son of someone that, you know, moved around and spun around in Hollywood circles. Like, what is this? Like, how is he even thinking this, or totally mentally ill? You know, but all these people that are so mentally ill. They're just evil, just sociopaths, psychopaths. I'm just trying to get out of somewhere. It doesn't want to let me go anywhere here, but we'll keep trying, because I am not a quitter. One thing I am, not a quitter. One way or another, I'll find the way to take the deep dive. Okay, it finally shut something down. I don't know what it is, but it's a total black screen for me over here. Okay, let's see if we can get anything going here. Okay, let me just completely shut down Microsoft, because Microsoft doesn't want to behave either. And I just might as well just go in here and go to Microsoft and end that task. There we go. And get these on, and that, and that. And go over here and that. Okay, and go over here. And I'm just going to end stupid Chrome again for the 90 millionth time. And I'll try it again. Okay. Put you guys on YouTube. I'm not even there. Thanks for staying with me through this crazy technology cluster. You know what? All right, I'm rolling back in to find out more on okay. Okay, there's quite a few. Okay, here's somebody that wrote again. This is somebody on social media says, I remember Sam and his brother and their mom, Mary, was the sweetest lady ever. She was our school nurse for years. So very sad for all involved. My daughter won their scholarship. What their son did is not their responsibility or their fault. Praying for their families of the young lady and his parents. Let's see here. The suspect's mom sang the national anthem at the Old Miss homecoming a few weeks back. Prayers were all touched by this tragedy. What police department arrested him? Has he been charged already? Any info on the missing in-laws? Someone said. Why would you all put the Haskell's name out there like this? Their son is a 35-year-old. Have a little respect for the innocent, that they haven't done anything but supported our schools and education. I would be ashamed. Put their names out there. He happens to be their son. This is crazy. She's yelling at the media station that said their name. Like seriously, because they supported the school system, they shouldn't have said the son's name. Okay. No care for the wife that's been murdered, though, but that's okay. Ridiculous. Unbelievable. So again, this is a photo of him, I think when he was, this is from Facebook. And let's see what we can see about him here. Days after his arrest, audio recordings were obtained Friday that may shine a new light on the case. The night before the female's torso was found, the recordings reveal officers were dispatched to the Haskells' home for reports of a possible body. In the audio, a dispatcher is heard saying that the person reporting the crime was outside the LAPD Topanga station. The radio call on November 7th at about 5:30 involved a suspicious bag that possibly contained human remains. When the officers responded, nothing was located. The LAPD hasn't confirmed details on who made that initial call, but said that when they returned to the home Wednesday, they found blood inside. The suspect's mother told Eyewitness News the family did not have a comment on the gruesome allegations her son is facing. Okay. Once in the house, officers made entry. Once they made entry, they discovered there was evidence of the crime, including blood evidence and other items. There's been no official announcement at what exactly was discovered when the house was searched. Okay. They moved into that Tarzana home during the COVID pandemic. They developed a friendship and bonded over being mothers, and that is El Banami and May, who's been murdered. She said, I have a lot in common with her. We're the same age and we both grew up abroad. She said that she helped her keep her sanity during their stay-at-home orders at the height of the pandemic. And I am so sorry because I think, let me see, family moved. Yes, they moved. I wanted to make sure that that was correct. And she described her friend as very sweet, generous person, very social, loved to throw parties. She said they were some of the best parties I'd ever been to. During those parties, Sam Haskell IV would come in and was smiling and kind of friendly, but not outgoing, according to that neighbor and friend. He would sit in the corner after about 20 minutes, disappear, go to his room, maybe go on a walk. To think that my next-door neighbor, a few feet away from my kid's room, that something like that transpired in there is insane to me. She was an amazing mother to her 3 boys. They were definitely all, I would say, like mommy's boys, very attached to her. Okay, yeah, it's a shame. Okay, so why are they saying the son of, well, he's Hollywood agent. Okay, so they are putting this on. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry. And let's see here. I'm just trying to see here. Son of former Hollywood agent. We know that. They keep just putting that, and they said, why are they saying that? Why? That's what's going on. He's at the Van Nuys jail. He has a bail of $2 million. Let's see. They didn't. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, these are his wife and her parents, if anybody. Let's see them. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, why is it so tiny? You're welcome. Okay. Now. You guys almost ate them all.
That's how you know they're good, right?
I guess so. So yeah, this is mother, father. Yeah, they're very good.
They're very good.
I think she's 65. He's 71. All right. Now, let's see what else we can find out. Okay, so he was 35 again. Wife, May, 37. Okay, and here's the detective I mentioned a little bit ago. Put him up here. Get up there, please. That is LAPD homicide detective Efren Gutierrez, who gave an update about the torso found in the dumpster in Encino. Okay, so let me go to... Let's go to Mr. Yep, another day. Let's see what the LAPD has to say, if there's any official stuff from them. LAPD. Okay. Okay, so he is being held on $2 million bail, so I guess Daddy didn't bail him out. It's unclear if he has an attorney. He's due in court on Monday, according to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Inmate Information Center. Let's see. Okay, so I found his information. Let's see. Samuel Bond is the middle name. He was born on April 3rd, 1988. He was arrested on November 8th at 11:25. He was booked November 8th at 16:38. He's in the LAPD Valley Jail, Van Nuys. It says no bail here, but they say $2 million. But I don't know. On here it's saying no bail. I don't know. Permanent housing assigned at 11:12. Facility Twin Towers Correctional Facility, 450 Bichette Street, Los Angeles. Next court date tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning. The Los Angeles Municipal Court, Division 30. Okay. Details. And it's saying no bail here, so I don't know if they changed that or what. But I just did a search at the Inmate Information Center, and that's what I got. Now let me see what else here. Okay, so here's what they're saying. No additional body parts beyond the torso have been discovered, and DNA results from the torso are pending, but the Los Angeles Police Department Captain Scott Williams said the torso is assumed to be Lee Haskell. Typically, if a murder suspect, is dismembering a body, it's to delay identification, said LAPD Detective Efren Gutierrez. So that by implication would mean that they may have been known to each other. Okay. Let's see. So it's weird that The search continues. For her parents, they track the bag back. Again, here they're talking about a $2 million bail. I don't know. Her father was also an agent for Kathy Lee Gifford, along with George Clooney, Ray Romano, Dolly Parton, Whoopi Goldberg. Let me look at one thing over here. I just thought of something else I can check. Okay. All right, so let's see. All right, this is what I wanted to say. I wanted to look at his alias. A couple of his aliases here. Let me check this one. Okay, so there is a LinkedIn with one of his aliases. Oh, isn't this nice? Okay. So he's got a LinkedIn, Samuel Basshinger, Bassinger, video director at KR8 Agency. That's KR8. Talks about hashtag TV, hashtag film, hashtag music, hashtag fashion, and hashtag fitness. Los Angeles, California. Only 30 followers on his LinkedIn, 20 connections. Lists KR8 Agency, which we'll check out here in just a second. Let me just look here. So, let's see. Got a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Cinematography and Film Video Production from 2006 to 2011. Skills, shooting video, pre-production, videography, digital media, social media. Okay. Let's see what this KR8 agency is. KR8 agency. Let me see if I find anything on that. KR8. Oh, it's an award-winning PR agency. New York's top PR agency. Really? I wonder if this is it. There's an Instagram for a KR8 agency. Is this it? It looks like it. A creative intelligence agency building brands from a holistic perspective. I don't think so. I don't think this is his. No. Mm-mm. Definitely not on that one. KR8 agency. I'm not seeing much there. Media Bistro. Corporate office is 8. Okay, let's see. Alan Troy. Huh. Let me look at something here and put his. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is his dad. Magnolia Hill. Okay, so that's his father. He's the president of Magnolia Hill Productions. Where's Sonny Boy working? Okay, here's some more information. He made violent slasher movies, and he worked with RHOBH star. He filmed violent action movies with fetishes, Asian women, and even once worked with Brandi Glanville. I don't know who that is. Most of Haskell's work, previewed online, featured Asian women in bikinis or skimpy outfits being oogled by men who, in one clip, a man has an X carved into his face and waves a sword. Okay. Brandi Glanville pictured in one of Haskell's clips where she appeared to berate a crying girl. In another one, a male character repeatedly lunges at another with the weapon and moves to slash him. Former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Brandi Glanville appeared in one clip, which appears to be a high school teen drama. In the clip, she delivers the line, "Why don't you get back in the studio with Dr. Luke and leave my effing daughter alone," to a girl who is crying. The clip then shows two armed men fighting over a woman while heavy metal music plays in the background, and the titles read, AK ammunition at this school, all that matters is the girl. What? A rep for Brandi said she didn't even remember who he was until being shown a clip. She said she didn't even know they completed the movie. It was 5 years ago. Okay. Okay, so I just got that now. Now we've got gruesome part of a woman's body was found in the dumpster in Tarzana. Alright, so let's switch gears real quick. Maybe we'll check back on that. I want to check out that Nebraska teen, and then I want to see if there's anything else about that. Okay, so we have 16-year-old in Nebraska, unidentified, is accused of slitting her newborn baby's throat and stuffing the baby's body in an empty bag of dog food. Why would there be dog food in... Oh no, an empty bag. So I guess she took that and maybe she thought that would be like, I don't know, waterproof, who knows. She was charged with first-degree murder and the use of a deadly weapon. According to authorities, police were called to the girl's home in Gordon, Nebraska on November 6th after a report that a teen had given birth and the baby wasn't breathing. The affidavit said that first responders were greeted by the teenager's father, who insisted that the baby had been born a stillborn. Oh my gosh, that sounds like that, right? That's the courthouse. That's Nebraska. Let's get Nebraska there. When police entered the family's home, they noticed the girl's mother holding the baby's body in a towel and told officers that the daughter had hurt the baby. When police examined the baby's unresponsive body, they observed that the infant's throat had been cut through her windpipe, and the infant had been stabbed several times on the left side of her chest. EMS providers arrived and took over care of the child, according to a statement from the girl's parents obtained by a local media station. The teenage girl had gone into the kitchen an hour prior to the incident and opened a drawer that contained a boning knife. Okay, I don't know if this is the knife indeed, or this is indicative of one that was used. Neither of the two saw her remove the knife, but the officers and parents discovered it was missing after searching the kitchen, so that's just a representative knife of what was used. Teenager later told her mother she needed to go to the store to buy sanitary products because she had a heavy period. Moments later, the family's dog rushed into the teenager's bedroom, and her parents discovered blood covering the walls. The 16-year-old returned home from the errands. The parents confronted her. The mother said the girl admitted having killed the baby. The woman called her husband, who located the baby, who was found disposed of in the girl's closet in an empty dog food bag. The girl was arraigned on charges in the Sheridan County Court. She's been appointed an attorney and is being held without bond. Wow. That's crazy, but that's the latest on that one. And then I want to just tell you about the Indiana case. About the guy that murdered his wife on the way to get their JCPenney portraits. Horrible. Okay, this is the man. I get over there. All right. So his name is Mohammed Mondal. He says to the police he's not the bad guy. He allegedly shot his wife 7 times and killed her in front of their 2 toddlers and to neutralize the threat. Mohammed Mondal said, who's 45, was arrested and charged with murder for using a firearm in the commission of a felony offense and 2 counts of neglect of a dependent on Monday. He's behind bars at the Dearborn Law Enforcement Center without bond. He made his initial court appearance on Thursday, and per probable cause affidavit, the 45-year-old father of 2 called 911 and reported that he had accidentally shot his wife. Then pivoted and said he shot the mother of 5, Stacy Mondal, in self-defense. Sergeant McAllister said he answered the phone, and by the tone of Mondal's voice, he seemed to be panicked and upset. The Dearborn County Sheriff's Department sergeant reportedly responded, "Are you serious?" and then asked for the location. The couple and their 2-year-old and 14-month-old were allegedly together in the car on their way to JCPenney for a family photo shoot. Isn't that crazy? 2-year-old and 14-month-old just going for a family photo shoot, and now their entire lives are completely destroyed. They've lost their mother. Their father's going to be going to prison in one split second. Now these kids carry that for the rest of their life. Unbelievable. And you think kids are innocent? By the time they're 2 and 14 months, they've already ruined their lives. Look at that other lady. That child was just born. She slit her throat, and that's it. Just gone. It's ridiculous what these people do. It's pathetic. When the shots were fired. Okay. The sheriff's deputies caught up with Mondal's vehicle and followed it to nearby St. Elizabeth Dearborn Hospital on the border of Ohio in the parking lot. Deputies saw that Mondale's wife was covered in blood and slumped to the left side towards the center console. She was pronounced dead at 12:11 p.m. Small black handgun was found on the passenger side floor near the woman's feet. Mondale claimed in subsequent interviews that Stacy, who was 40, was going for his gun and reiterated that he shot her in self-defense. He then detailed their marital problems, including multiple suspected affairs. Mondale stated that he believed Stacy had an affair with a neighbor. In the course of the investigation, detectives learned that Mondale believed that at least 2 men in his neighborhood previously had an affair with Stacy, and at least one of them had been following him. Mondale also believed that his father-in-law was following him on the day of the shooting. Detectives noted in the affidavit that they were unable to find any evidence of Stacy's alleged infidelity. So now he's got to, slander the hell out of her and everything and put all this stuff there to try to save his skin. After leaving to go to the photo appointment, Mondale said that he and Stacy began arguing, and she struck him with the cell phone. Mondale then stated that she dropped the cell phone and reached for a gun that was lying in the open center console. Mondale then stated that he reached for a gun on his person and shot her. When detectives informed Mondale that his wife had been pronounced dead, the man told them for the first time that Stacy pointed the gun at him before he shot her. But detectives wrote that they were unable to find any evidence that Stacy fired a shot during the argument. In the final interview, Mondale allegedly said that he fired 7 shots at his wife to neutralize a threat and insisted that he was not the bad guy. Stacy's family said in an interview with the media that their current focus is to love and support the woman's surviving 5 children. We are being comforted by by family, friends, and the outpouring of compassion by our community, they wrote in a written statement. Stacy's spirit will continue to live on. Wow, that's just crazy. And let's see what else is going on here. Okay, some more news. The body of a missing Texas woman was found early this morning in McKinney. Heather Louise Schwab, 35, was reported missing, but provided no further information. They said information led them to apply for a search warrant at the home of Chad Christopher Stevens, who was 42. This guy right over here. They found the woman's body and arrested Stevens, charging him with tampering with evidence and assault causing bodily injury. Detectives said the investigation's in the very early stages and asked anyone with information to call Detective Monty Robertson, 972-547-2724. Okay. Now, I wanted to talk about Chad Daybell, too, because Chad wants the death penalty off the table. And why? Well, he wants it off the table because Lori didn't have it, and he shouldn't face it since Lori didn't have to face it, and it's not fair, in other words, okay? So his defense attorneys filed 3 motions, and they're all about removing the death penalty for Chad Daybell and limiting how the state can argue their case. His attorney, John Pryor, asked for hearings on his motions to exclude the death penalty and to require the prosecutors to use the exact same arguments about his client's culpability in the deaths of J.J. Vallow, who was 7, Tylee Ryan, 16, and Tammy Daybell, Chad's first wife, that they used in Lori Daybell, his second wife's trial. Daybell and his wife, Lori Vallow Daybell, were charged with murder and conspiracy in the deaths of 2 of Lori Vallow Daybell's children and Chad Daybell's first wife, Tammy, initially charged together, but Judge Stephen Boyce severed their cases, and Chad waived his right to a speedy trial while Lori did not. Lori's trial was also delayed because she was twice declared incompetent to stand trial and had to be sent to a state mental health facility for treatment. 2 weeks before her trial finally started earlier this year, the judge, Stephen Boyce, took the death penalty off the table for her because he said that rapidly approaching trial date meant the attorneys did not have the time to look over the additional material involved in the death penalty case. She was convicted on all charges and sentenced to life without parole. John Pryor covers all of his bases in the 3 motions. In the first one, he re-argues that prosecutors made clear in Valo Daybell's trial that she was the driver of the conspiracy, which gives Daybell, Chad, lesser culpability than Lori. So that he has lesser culpability. Let's take a look at... hang on one second. Per the state's own presentation of evidence and arguments in the trial of Lori Vallow, Mr. Daybell has lesser culpability than his co-defendant who did not face the death penalty. But even if both Chad and Lori were equally to blame, Pryor wrote, it would still be unconstitutional and unacceptable for Valo Daybell to get life in prison and Daybell to be sentenced to death. It's not fair. While the state's prosecution of Ms. Vallow has established that even if all of the state's allegations were accepted as true, Mr. Daybell was not more culpable in the alleged conspiracy than Ms. Vallow. He is the co-defendant facing the most extreme punishment available. The state's seeking of Mr. Daybell's death is cruel and unusual. Well, what were the deaths of J.J., Tylee, and Tammy, and all the other, and what about Charles? And another motion that John Pryor made seeks to force the state to present the same case for Daybell that it did for his wife Lori, and that is to force prosecutors to admit that Valo Daybell was in charge of the conspiracy and her husband was merely taking orders, right? He was just following orders. The core of the prosecution's case, he said, was that she was the driving force behind the alleged conspiracy, that she used both Alex Cox, her brother, and Chad Daybell through emotional and sexual manipulation, and that she remained in charge of the plan throughout. Okay, so let me just go through this one motion, the conclusion of this one motion. Let's see what it says here. For the foregoing reasons, the state should be limited to arguing only levels of relative culpability that are consistent with what was argued during Ms. Daybell's trial and sentencing, especially if the state continues to seek more severe punishment of Mr. Daybell than his co-defendant. In particular, the state must be limited to presenting the same core theory that was presented in the prosecution of Ms. Vallow, that she was the driving force behind a conspiracy leading to the deaths of Tylee Ryan, J.J. Vallow, and Tamara Daybell. That Ms. Vallow used both Alex and Chad through emotional and sexual manipulation, and that Ms. Vallow remained in charge of her plan throughout. So yeah, let's see what this other one says in conclusion. Let's see here. In sum, the consistent core of the state's case has been that Lori set a conspiracy in motion, that she manipulated Chad Daybell and Alex Cox to partake in that conspiracy, and that she was in charge throughout her plan. Based on the state's presentation of evidence and arguments, Ms. Vallow was convicted on all counts, but she did not face the death penalty. Only Mr. Daybell, who the state has asserted was not going to act without Lori saying so, is facing the death penalty. Despite the state repeatedly asserting that Lori Vallow sexually and emotionally manipulated Chad Daybell in pursuit of her aims, Mr. Daybell faces a more severe punishment than Ms. Vallow. Despite the state's consistent argument that Lori groomed Alex Cox, continued to manipulate him, and then handed her son off to be killed by Alex, only Chad Daybell faces the death penalty, despite the state's presentation of evidence that Chad will follow Lori, not the other way around. Only the person alleged to be the manipulated follower is facing the possibility of a death penalty. Okay, so then they go over there. Given the uniquely harsh nature of the sentence, capital punishment must be limited to those offenders whose extreme culpability makes them the most deserving of execution. A crime may be one that inflicted hurt and horror on the victim and then caused revulsion in society and the jury that represents it, but may nevertheless be one for which death is a disproportionate penalty. Thus, regardless of the morally shocking nature of an alleged offense, the death penalty may be a disproportionate sentence based on the offender's relative culpability. With respect to the proportionality inquiry in the co-defendant's cases, evaluation of each individual's relative culpability in the same criminal case is a necessary element of a constitutional death sentencing scheme. Okay. Let's go to the conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, any death sentence imposed upon Daybell would violate the fundamental constitutional principles requiring equal justice under law and would be unconstitutionally disproportionate, excessive, fundamentally unfair, and arbitrary and capricious. Oh boy. Mr. Daybell respectfully requests that this court strike the state's August 5th, 2021 notice of intent to seek the death penalty pursuant to the 6th, 8th, and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution, Idaho Constitution, Article 1, Section 6, 7, 8, and 13. Wow, okay, so interesting. We'll see what happens there, right? It's not fair. Okay. Is there anything else that we want to talk about? Okay. Okay, so one of the surviving roommates in the Idaho IV case has switched schools. See what this is about, because tomorrow is the tragic anniversary of those murders, right? One of the surviving roommates of the University of Idaho murder victims has transferred to a different school and is enduring feelings of guilt for living through the attacks. Let's see. A year, well, it'll be after the massacre of 4 University of Idaho students, the roommate who came face to face with the cold-blooded killer, let's see, but was spared, has transferred colleges and is struggling with survivor's guilt. This is according to her stepmother, who told this to the New York Post. Patricia Monroe said Dylan Mortensen is doing okay since Brian Koberger allegedly slaughtered Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernadel, and Ethan Chapin on November 13th, 2022, inside that King Road, Moscow, Idaho house. There's a lot of guilt because, if someone says, oh, well, Dylan was so lucky, you don't want to take on that luck because all of the children deserved luck. They all deserved to be spared from that. Her stepmother is 53 years old, and she spoke from her Costa Mesa, California house. She was married to Dylan's father, Brent. She helped raise Dylan from the time she was 7. Almost up to her graduation from high school. She and Brent have since gotten divorced, but she insisted she is still very aware of the situation and what she's doing, how she's doing, and what she's doing and how she's doing. Oh, isn't this funny? Okay, so now let me get this right. This is her stepmother, who has been divorced from Dylan's father since high school, and she is now reporting to the New York Post. Isn't that interesting timing? Isn't it? Dylan's stepmom said, well, she's not her stepmom, she's her ex-stepmom because they're divorced, said the 20-year-old transferred universities but declined to say which one. She came face to face with the alleged killer as he exited the house, standing in a frozen shock phase as a figure clad in black clothing and a mask walked towards her, then towards the back sliding glass door of the house. She then locked herself in the room for the night. For reasons still unknown, she and Bethany Funky, the other roommate, didn't call the police until around noon the following day. This is just one fact that social media trolls and citizen sleuths have latched onto in slamming Mortensen and Funky because the whole case gained worldwide attention last year. They've called her everything from a murderer and a drug user to transgender. You never really know about online backlash and trolls until you deal with it, and it's just a really hurtful thing, Monroe said. I challenge anyone to be in a position where they wake up to 4 of their roommates gone, and not even realizing it, she continued, people have to understand that these children are very young. They're just kids, and it's just a really traumatizing thing. I just think that people need to have compassion. There needs to be space and time for all the details to come out in trial, Monroe says. And that's that. So I take that with a grain of salt because we don't even know this woman's motives or relationship with Dylan Mortensen. So that's a grain of salt update. Let's see what else we have. Okay, remember that airline pilot, the one that allegedly was trying to shut an engine off or something? Well, he's speaking out now. Former airline pilot who was arrested last month for allegedly trying to shut off the engines during a plane flight to California is now speaking out about what happened. Alaska Airlines pilot Joseph David Emerson, 44 years old, was off duty but approved to be in the cockpit during that Horizon Air flight that departed from Washington on October 26th. Emerson was sitting in the cockpit jump seat. That's located right behind the pilots, and he allegedly tried to shut off the plane's engines. He says he had taken psychedelic mushrooms 2 days before the incident to deal with the grief of losing a friend. The New York Times reported that the pilots risk being suspended if they seek psychiatric care or prescriptions, and that may have influenced Emerson to self-medicate with mushrooms and alcohol. Well, that sounds like a good combination. Emerson said that he was overcome with dread and fear after taking the psychedelic mushrooms, and he claimed on the day of the incident he texted a friend from the cockpit that he was having a panic attack. I thought of a lot of traumatic things in that time where I was like, am I dead? Is this hell? I'm reliving that trauma. The friend reportedly told Emerson in a voice message to do breathing exercises, which made no sense to Emerson, and led him to scream at the pilots operating the plane, asking for help. Emerson claimed he believed the whole exchange was a hallucination, so he grabbed the engine shutoff handles in hopes of waking up. The pilots reportedly grabbed Emerson's wrists and put the handles back in place before the engine ran out of fuel. Emerson said that he exited the cockpit and asked the flight attendants for help before walking to the back of the plane. "I made a big mistake," he reportedly texted his wife. The Washington-bound flight was diverted over to Portland, where Emerson was arrested on 83 counts of attempted murder. He told the New York Times that it was not until 5 days later, after taking the mushrooms, that his sense of reality began to come back. Passengers on that Alaska Airline flight have filed a lawsuit against the company. They claimed it violated protocol by letting Emerson in the cockpit, even though he mentioned feeling unwell. And speaking of mushrooms, hang on, we have to talk about that mushroom case in Australia because there were some updates on that. Okay. So she was charged with murder. Let's see. Oopsie. In the case that has gripped Australia, 3 people fell ill and died. Yep. Soon after eating lunch at the home of a relative. Here she is. There we go. For months, this case has been playing out in a small Australian town where 3 people died after eating a meal that was a family meal, but apparently had poisonous death cap mushrooms. Erin Patterson is a suspect. She hosted that lunch. I remember talking about this late in the summer. I was on the dock. I remember this. It was in late July. 4 guests quickly became very, very ill. The menu included a beef Wellington that Patterson made, and it included mushrooms. She was arrested on Thursday, now charged with 3 counts of murder and 5 counts of attempted murder. Authorities did not name her directly, but the details and circumstances align closely with her case, and national media quickly reported her arrest. Patterson has maintained that she did nothing wrong in the face of intense media scrutiny and public speculation. "I am now devastated to think that these mushrooms may have contributed to the illnesses suffered by my loved ones." This she said in a statement to police in August. "I really want to repeat that I had absolutely no reason to hurt these people whom I loved." 3 people died in the days after that July 29th lunch at Patterson's home. Okay. The victims in the case, Don and Gail Patterson, who were both 70, and they were Patterson's former in-laws. Heather Wilkinson, 66, who was Gail Patterson's sister. Ian Wilkinson, 69, Heather's husband, who fell sick but recovered. A 48-year-old man who became ill after 3 other meals dating to 2021. Police did not identify that 48-year-old man listed as the 5th victim, but he is believed to be Simon Patterson, Erin's estranged husband. He had reportedly been invited to that fateful lunch, but he canceled. The time frame that police provided for the earlier incidents matches social media postings attributed to Simon Patterson, including one in which he's described being in an induced coma for more than 2 weeks and having emergency surgery as he battled life-threatening stomach and intestinal issues. The deaths in this case were not quick. The victims spent roughly a week in the hospital before dying. It wasn't until September 23rd that the survivor, Ian Wilkinson, was well enough to leave the hospital. Patterson's arrest followed an incredibly complex, methodical, and thorough investigation. Detective Inspector Dean Thomas of the Victoria Police Homicide Squad said, Patterson reportedly told police that she also ate the beef Wellington and that she also became ill. The suspicious circumstances sparked incredibly intense levels of public scrutiny and curiosity, Thomas said, but he also urged the public to keep in mind that the case centers on the loss of 3 people who, by all accounts, were very much loved in their communities and very greatly missed by their loved ones. The detective inspector also thanked members of the public who have reached out and provided information in relation to this incident. About 9 out of 10 fungi-related deaths are attributable to the death cap mushroom, according to the Victorian government, which says symptoms normally begin 6 to 8 hours after the mushroom is eaten. In her statement to police, Patterson reportedly told the investigators that she prepared her beef Wellington using a mix of mushrooms from a supermarket and dried mushrooms she got from an Asian grocery store. The dish features a beef tenderloin baked in puff pastry. Months before Patterson had her relatives over for lunch, the Victoria Department of Health issued an advisory warning that death cap mushrooms were growing in this state. Death cap mushrooms, commonly grown under oak trees, are extremely poisonous even after drying or cooking. The health agency said consuming just 1 mushroom can kill an adult. Symptoms can include violent stomach pain, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, adding that the mushroom toxins can leave a survivor's liver seriously damaged. So we've got that, huh? Okay, let's see now. Carolyn, look up what Carolyn. Hi, Jinx. Carolyn, look up her in-home drawing she did. Wait. Which Jinx? Which case are you talking about? Are you talking which case, Jinx? This one with the mushrooms, I want to make sure because I've discussed a lot of cases tonight and I don't know if you're behind in the video or not. Which one do you want me to look up? This woman's in-home drawings? Okay, let me look it up. I think that's who you mean, okay? Oh, I see them. Yeah, I think we talked about these when we first found them. Chilling death wall. Yeah, I think we talked. Yeah, this is crazy, right? Get over there. Hannah, 3rd of August, 2021. Oh. Let's see what this, and then we've got. Hold on a minute. And then this one over here. Me, I am dead. Really? No, damn. Really? The creepy death wall was uncovered. Excuse me. At the former home. Here's a better view of it. Hold on. Red and blue markers were used to scrawl eerie drawings and messages all over the wall, with one chilling note reading, "You don't have long to live." say here? So, go over here. Okay, so a photo obtained shows the one section of the wall covered in red, blue, and black graffiti. You don't have long to live. 1 hour exactly, one section reads. You're dead for my sword, another says. Underneath 2 stick figures of a male and a female are the words, I am dead, and no, I am really dead, above what appear to be 3 tombstones. One of the tombstones appears to say, Grandma, R.I.P., while the third reads, Me, R.I.P. Next to the light switch is written, The Moulette Man, The Moulette Man. Other random scrawls on the bizarre mural include Eternity, Oh Yeah, and Get Ready. We started calling it the death wall, said the worker who took the photo. Let's see, I've looked at it and gone, what is going on here? This is actually really scary for the kids to do this inside the kitchen dining room. I don't think it was right. It looks scary. It just didn't look right to me as a parent. The 46-year-old said he was struck by multiple references to death, particularly the tombstones. That sort of stood right out for me. It was eerie. I think I put 4 coats of primer undercoat and 2 coats of wall paint to cover all that text. The worker said he snapped the picture and, apart from showing a few friends, didn't think of it again until the fatal mushroom poisonings hit the headlines. 46-year-old said he was struck by the multiple references to death. Okay, so apparently she had this, called a painter in to cover this up, or this was a residence she moved out of. It's understood Pedersen's 2 children, whom she shares with her estranged husband, Simon, are 7 and 5. They keep to themselves. The worker told the media that he was aware homicide detectives wanted to speak to him about the photos, the existence of which has been previously reported. Another tradesperson who saw the wall said it was just something you would typically expect children of that age to be drawing on the wall. Not something, you would expect children of that age. You'd think they'd be drawing flowers and unicorns, not gravestones and death. I was surprised, but at the time I didn't think anything more of it. It's a bit weird, but I see weird shite every day. His understanding was that Patterson's explanation for the drawings were she's gone out or something, and her kids were there and had done that while they were out. It's very strange to see. It was just an unusual thing for a child to draw. Property records show that the 3-bedroom, 2-bath house described in the listing as an ideal family home was sold last August for $353,700. Okay. All right, let me go back to, here's the live chat over here. No, apparently it was, they were called in, they took a picture of it before they painted over it. Maybe she was scribbling as she was waiting for the beef Wellington to cook. Barb shouldn't laugh, but that made me chuckle. Maybe she was cooking the mushroom topping and waiting for it to dry. So, let me just see something here. Detectives are painstakingly picking apart the home of Erin Patterson after she was arrested over the poisonous mushroom meal that led to the death of 3 people. Isn't it weird, though? Now, right, I'm hearing about poisonous mushrooms, and I want to eat some mushrooms. Isn't that strange, the way that things work out like that? That's like, I don't know what it is, but sometimes when you hear about stuff about hamburgers or something, then you feel like it's weird. But I do feel like having some mushroom. I don't know why. Not poisonous ones, really nice ones, maybe like sauteed with a little garlic. I don't know. And butter. Who knows? Let's see. So she was arrested at her home in eastern Victoria at about 8 a.m. on Thursday. She's being questioned at the police station. It said no charges have. That was on the 2nd of November. Let's see. Heather Wilkinson, 66, her sister, Gail Patterson, and her husband, Don Patterson, both 70, all died in August, days after eating a beef Wellington cooked by Ms. Patterson. The Pattersons were the parents of Ms. Patterson's estranged husband, Simon. Ms. Wilkinson's husband, Baptist church pastor Ian Wilkinson, 68, was the sole survivor but was left critically ill and spent almost 2 months in the hospital. Specialist police team of investigators is now currently searching Ms. Patterson's home where the fatal family lunch took place on July 29th. Forensic experts have been spotted rifling through the crowded garage attached to the home and combing through the interior of her red MG ZS SUV in the property's driveway. Detectives have also brought in specially trained technology detector dogs that can sniff out USB memory keys and SIM cards in order to help scour the property. Let's see here. The dogs are considered to be the most elite of all sniffer dogs and capable of sensing the microns thin coating that protects computer circuit boards. Their noses are so sensitive they can track down tiny SIM or memory cards buried in walls or even hidden in fruit. The dogs were seen exploring various locations around the home, with a sofa on a rear deck of the home closely inspected. Ms. Patterson's car was also given a thorough search several times by detectives and the sniffer dogs. 5 cars, including Ms. Patterson's, were parked in her driveway on Thursday morning. Ms. Patterson, empty bins remained uncollected outside her property. Her arrest comes after Pastor Wilkinson was said to be helping homicide detectives with the investigation following his release from the hospital on September 23rd. Police believe the symptoms the 4 diners experienced were consistent with the effects of eating death cap mushrooms. Okay. The arrest is just the next step in what has been a complex and thorough investigation by homicide squad detectives, and one that is not over yet. Of course not. How could it be over yet? You haven't even had a trial. Over the last 3 months, this investigation has been subject to incredible intense levels of public scrutiny and curiosity. Once the search of the premises is completed, the female will be interviewed by homicide squad investigators and updates will be provided. Keep in mind that at the heart of this, 3 people have lost their lives. These are 3 people who, by all accounts, were much beloved in their communities and are greatly missed by their loved ones. In the wake of the tragedy, Ms. Patterson spoke of her love for the victims of the poisoning, and especially her in-laws, saying, and I quote, "I am now devastated to think that these mushrooms may have contributed to the illnesses suffered by my loved ones. I really want to repeat that I had absolutely no reason to hurt these people whom I loved." Ms. Patterson said she made the killer lunch with a mixture of button mushrooms from a major supermarket chain and dried mushrooms from an Asian grocery store in Melbourne. In her statement to the police, which was leaked to the media, Ms. Patterson said she portioned the meal onto plates and let her guests pick their own. A dehydrator was later dumped at the local tip-over. Her concern that her estranged husband would blame her for his parents' death and gain custody of their 2 children, she said. Death cap mushrooms contain deadly amatoxin, which catastrophically attacks a person's body and essentially melts down a person's liver. It is so potent that you do not even need to eat part of the mushroom for it to be lethal. Simply consuming liquid the mushrooms were cooked in can be enough to kill. On Thursday morning, Victoria police confirmed they made an arrest in the case. Homicide Squad detectives arrested a woman this morning as part of their investigation into the deaths of 3 people following an incident earlier this year. 4 people were taken to a hospital on July 30th. They all became ill following a meal at a private residence the previous day. 2 Kurambura women, ages 66 and 70, passed away in a hospital on August 4th. A third, a 70-year-old Kurambura man, passed away on August 5th in the hospital. A 69-year-old Kurambura man was released from the hospital on September 23rd. A 49-year-old Leongatha woman was arrested at the home address shortly after 8 a.m. on November 2nd. A search warrant has been executed at the Gibson Street address with assistance from AFP's technology detector dogs. The woman will now be interviewed by police, and the investigation remains ongoing. Okay, let's see here. Okay, hold on. Let me see what you're saying. Hi, 61. Surely that was there before they ate. I think it was in a bedroom. I don't think any of those people saw that. The police had the leftovers. What do you mean had them? She said something early on about her kids that they didn't like mushrooms, but she said they ate the meat without the mushrooms or something. But because it's the juice from the mushrooms, it's not. You have to eat something of the mushrooms. I'm sure she took precautions. Right? Right? Okay, let me see now. Hang on a minute. If you guys could give the video a thumbs up, that would be great. I'd appreciate that. And I'm going to look into, see if there's anything more about. There's still that guy that's missing out of Massachusetts, the one that killed his wife. They haven't found him. They haven't found that Grimm girl that was missing, traveling across the country and then stopping in Arizona, and haven't found anything about her. So some stuff. Let me see if there's any updates as to her, Chelsea Grimm. I don't see anything on Chelsea Graham. Absolutely nothing. And what about the Massachusetts man? Okay. Which is Aaron Pennington, right? So they're still searching for him. He's considered armed and dangerous still. I don't know if he's still. Do you think he's still around, or is it they just haven't found what he's done to himself? I don't know. "33 years old, murdered his wife Brianna Pennington, 30, while she was in bed in their home. Remember the children, ages 2, 5, 7, and 9. Went to a neighbor's house, said that they couldn't find their dad, and their mom was crying in her room, but her mother was deceased in her room." Yeah, let me see here. There's a new photo released. Let me see, it was, well, it's not really that new. But I guess it's the latest one they want to release from 10/11. The doorbell camera photo of Pennington is the most recent shot officials have of him from October 11th. Brianna Pennington was shot in the face in Gardner. See here, she was found 33. Police believe he is still on foot at this time, but have not given any other ideas of his whereabouts. No weapon was found at the scene. He has been described as armed and dangerous. Cops found a note on Pennington's phone saying, "Put a hole in her head," and that was written the night before Brianna's body was discovered. So I don't know where the heck she is there. He is there, I'm sorry. Yep. Alright, 1 second. Let me just check something else here. Okay. All right, let's look at this right here. So here. The founders of a failed California tech company were charged by federal authorities Thursday for their roles in a $100 million fraud scheme in which they bankrolled their lavish lifestyles and hefty salaries. Irma Olquin Jr. and Jake Soberol, who headed the Fresno-based startup Bitwise Industries, surrendered to authorities on charges they conspired to commit wire fraud and took millions of dollars from various businesses and individuals, the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of California announced. The pair allegedly created a tangled web of lies and fabricated documents to create the illusion the private technology company was succeeding. They're accused of fabricating bank statements, lying to investors, providing false financial information to the board of directors, forging documents, and using buildings Bitwise no longer even owned as collateral for loans, all while lining their own pockets, said United States Attorney Philip Talbert. Olquin and Soberol allegedly agreed to start their complicated string of lies in January of 2022, 16 months before Bitwise abruptly collapsed. Despite recent reports, the company was worth over $500 million and was financially sound. The duo allegedly faked its financial records to obtain investments, loans, and other funding, which they put towards Bitwise's payroll and fringe benefits, outfitting the company's office spaces and repaying debts owed to prior lenders. Irma and Jake allegedly agreed to fake the success of Bitwise Industries to gain investor funding. They also took care to fulfill their own $600,000 annual salaries. When the scheme was finally exposed in May of 2023, the company's 900 employees and apprentices were immediately furloughed and later laid off. Oglin and Soberol were fired by the company's board of directors, and Bitwise filed for bankruptcy protection the following month. Bitwise Industries, these sorts of white-collar crimes often root from greed and mismanagement and leave hardworking tax-paying citizens damaged in their wake, said Mark Silva, IRS Criminal Investigation Acting Special Agent in charge of the Oakland field office. The pair have admitted to carrying out the scheme, but pled not guilty in court in Fresno on Thursday. Jake and Irma have taken full responsibility for the mistakes they've made while trying to preserve Bitwise. Their sincere desire not to see Bitwise fail caused them to make numerous grave and consequential errors in judgment, say the lawyers for the couple. Both have agreed to a bar preventing them from serving as officers or directors of public companies, as well as other penalties, the SEC said. If convicted, the two face a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Let me check over here. Can I get to my... Okay. Has Donna Adelson been arrested? I don't think so yet, right? That should be soon. Crazy, isn't it? Let's see if we have any news on Donna Adelson. What's she doing? Okay. Donna, 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 Donna. What's going on, Donna? Okay, let's see here. Prosecutors consider Mr. Adelson's family members, his sister Wendy, and their parents Donna and Harvey, unindicted co-conspirators. None have been charged, and all have denied any involvement. Wendy Adelson has testified with limited immunity in all three trials in the case. Hold on, let me let's get their pictures over there so we know who we're talking about. In Charlie's trial, his mother, Donna, loomed large. The prosecution cited significant evidence, including an avalanche of awful emails suggesting that Donna was the Adelson who hated Dan the most, as well as the Adelsons most intent on getting Wendy and her 2 sons back to South Florida. She didn't want to lose her sunshines, remember? Which could be achieved only by getting Dan out of the picture. Okay. Given that theory on the case, it's likely the state will be moving against Donna, saying I'm 73 and have really bad diarrhea is not a defense to murder charges. In her post-verdict comments to reporters, Georgia Kappelman, prosecutor, was coy about going after the other Adelsons, declining to say whether more prosecutions would be forthcoming. But when asked if the investigation was still ongoing, she answered in the affirmative. Considering the 4 of the co-conspirators are now behind bars, who might the ongoing investigation be focused on besides Donna Adelson? Okay, so I think it's Donna. Yeah. Let's see about where is Donna? What's Donna doing? What's Donna doing? Okay, let's look over here for a second. Okay, so they say, fingers crossed, it's not over. It's definitely not over until they are all locked up and proven guilty. There's definitely enough evidence. Some say, albeit the legal experts state that there's not enough to indict Wendy. I disagree. Someone else is speaking here. It will definitely take more effort to maneuver around her immunity, if you will, but I believe there's enough evidence to prove Wendy was involved. It's long past due, and she needs to be indicted. Let a jury decide. As for Donna, stick a fork in it. She's done. Her golden years on the outside are closing in on her, and not soon enough. Coming soon, Charlie's sentencing. His arrogant days of I'm untouchable are over. Prisons are all about gangs within the walls, and I'm certain the Latin Kings are fully aware of everything Charlie has said about them. Charlie's only hope at this point is that they put him in protective custody. But if the Latin Kings want him bad enough, they'll find a way to get to him. Charlie better hope he has enough money to buy his safety. Now he will get the full effect of what extortion is, because that's going to be his life on the inside. How ironic. Georgia has more than we have seen yet. Georgia, stay tuned. The Adelsons wrote the script, but plot twist, Georgia is writing the ending. Hashtag Justice for Dan. Okay, let's see here. Mother needs to be next. All right, so just let's see. Okay, here's the Markel family statement on the guilty verdict. A jury found Charles Adelson guilty of first-degree murder. It has been more than 9 years since Danny was brutally murdered in cold blood, and it has taken a tremendous effort to get to this point. We are grateful to State Attorney Jack Campbell, who has demonstrated extraordinary focus and leadership, and we are forever indebted to prosecutors Georgia Kappelman and Sarah Catherine Dugan, along with Rachel Jankowski and Eddie Evans, who have been the public face of the team fighting hard for so many years, to Helene Potluck for guiding us so kindly through the process, and to the entire team at the state attorney's office, to law enforcement including Pat Sanford, Craig Isom, Jason Newlin, Chris Corbett, and so many others. Thank you for your commitment to the truth. We are also appreciative of the Honorable Stephen Everett for administering such a seamless trial, and to the jury for their attention, commitment, and thoughtful deliberation. Danny loved the Tallahassee community, which has embraced, hold on a minute, I'm going to pull this up, which has embraced, our family throughout the quest for justice. We are so very grateful for the steadfast support of the Tallahassee community, the online community, especially Justice for Dan, and the media. While nothing will ever repair the hole torn in our hearts when Danny was stolen from us, we appreciate all those near and far who have joined our family in seeking justice for Dan and in keeping his memory alive with such dedication, and we are thankful for the support and encouragement we have received from friends and family around the world. With deepest gratitude, the Markel family. Okay. Let's see here. That's that there. I think we've covered just about everything. Is there anything else anybody wants to cover? Hi, it's Bink. I was thinking about the girl who was traveling alone, so sad. Oh, yeah. There's nothing about it. Does anybody want to talk about any other case right now? His sentencing is in December. Let me tell you. I believe it's the 12th or the 14th. Let me check. Do. It's the 12th or the 14th, I remember, but let me see. I believe it's the... Let me see here. Do. Let me see. It's the 12th or the 14th, Barb, of December, if I'm remembering correctly, and I would say it might be the 12th, but it might be the 14th too. I believe I'm not seeing it right here. Oh, December 12th. There we go. Sorry. Yes, Adelson's sentencing date is set for December 12th. His murder conviction carries a mandatory life sentence. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, that's what it is. The 12th minute. Okay. So that's a question that's answered. Asked and answered. Anybody else have anything? I think it's December 12th. It is December 12th. The father that imprisoned his son in the garage. They haven't sentenced him yet? Investors should have been wise with their money. Even the company's name makes me think, LOL, Bitwise. Can't trust anyone these days. No, you gotta do your due diligence. Yes, the truck stop could have been a dangerous place for a human alone. Could have been, yeah. The band mushrooms. Okay. So did Carolyn just say, what did I just say, Bink? They might go after the mom, or they are going to get. Well, we're all suspecting that they're going to go after the mom, Bink. You know? That's what we're suspecting there, that they will go after the mom and get her. I mean, there's enough evidence, it seems, to everybody right there. Okay, now, hold on one second. I have to take a vitamin. Okay. I just want to take my, I just dropped my vitamins. If you have any other questions, you can type them up. I'll be glad to research anything. Go ahead. Whatever you have. Okay, so I'm looking at some stuff that's here. All right, so let me go over here and just check on a couple of other things. Okay. All right, here's where we're going to go. Oh my goodness. Where did that... Oh my goodness. Wow, when did this happen? According to a media release by the New York State Police, Boyd H. Fenton of Athens, Pennsylvania, allegedly intentionally set a fire in a Tioga Downs casino barn. Wow. And killed 24 horses. A barn fire in Nichols, New York on Thursday morning caused the death of over 24 horses and the injury of one individual. The New York State Police put out this media release, and it says, on November 9th, 2023, New York State Police Bureau of Criminal Investigation arrests Boyd H. Fenton, age 32, of Athens, Pennsylvania, after a fire at a barn structure at the Tioga Downs complex. Over 24 racehorses died in the fire. Wow. He has been charged with arson in the third-degree Class C felony, burglary in the third-degree Class D felony, criminal mischief in the second Class D felony, assault in the second-degree Class D felony. An investigation revealed that Fenton entered the barn and intentionally set a fire, causing thousands of dollars worth of damage. One person who entered the burning barn in an attempt to save horses suffered second-degree burns and was transported to the Robert Packer Hospital for treatment. Fenton was arraigned before a judge this afternoon and remanded to the Tioga County Correctional Facility. Troopers on the scene were assisted by Nichols Fire and multiple mutual agencies, including a bunch of other agencies. The investigation is ongoing. The ongoing investigation has revealed that the barn fire was set as an act of arson. Okay. It's a shame. What the heck? Okay, what is this about here? Another New York incident here. Let's see what happened over here. This time in Brooklyn. Let's see what happened. This incident happened on a school playground in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, and it's ongoing. Police are asking for the public's help identifying the woman wanted for questioning. NYPD are asking for the public's help in identifying a woman who allegedly accosted a Brooklyn dad and his 18-month-old son at a playground on November 7th, throwing her cell phone and a cup of hot coffee at them, and allegedly asking if they were terrorists. Why would she throw her cell phone at them? That's insane, right? Why would she throw coffee at them? But I mean, why would she throw herself? What if he just grabbed, I don't know. The 40-year-old victim, who has been revealed to be Ashish Prashar, was wearing a black and white Palestinian scarf known as a kippah. At the time he filmed the incident, later posting it to social media. It is still unknown if anything prompted the incident, but Prashar can be heard saying, "I'm wearing a scarf and apparently I'm getting attacked because I'm a terrorist." An unseen witness can be heard saying, "I'm sorry that happened to you." Okay. According to the statement released by the NYPD, it was reported to police on Monday, November 7th at approximately 12:30. The 40-year-old male victim was in the Edmonds playground in the vicinity of 196 DeKalb Avenue, and he was approached by an unknown female who allegedly made anti-Islamic statements. The unknown female proceeded to throw her cell phone along with a hot cup of coffee at him. The victim was not injured. The playground is connected to the public middle school, and two other elementary schools are also co-located in the building. None of the children were known to have witnessed the event, even though hate crime posters were seen on lampposts and trees surrounding the playground in the following days. Okay, Prashar later asked supporters on Instagram to let the NYPD do their job instead of trying to track down the perpetrator. "Don't take this in your own hands. We have never asked for that and do not want that. This is not vigilante justice. The only way forward is to have the detectives do their job." Okay, a local Brooklyn parent said, "It's sad that any of this is happening. This corner of the world has always felt like a safe space for people of all backgrounds to cohabitate peacefully. Hatred among others because of their beliefs or backgrounds really goes against everything we teach our kids around here. We won't let one incident stop us from encouraging love for one another." Okay. Okay, now this is a teenager. I'm having a little bit of a hard time to see that. Okay. Kenzie Varnersdale is awaiting a trial after allegedly attacking a police officer during an arrest. This Kentucky teenager has been charged with attempted murder after she allegedly attacked the police officer during an arrest. On November 4th, the Mount Washington Police Department shared a press release with details regarding the events that have led up to this alleged incident. So let's get that press release and see what's happened. On Saturday, November 4th, an officer with the Mount Washington Police Department observed a female, later identified as Kenzie Vannersdale, trespassing in Lindsay Duval Park. The officer identified himself and made contact with Ms. Varnersdale and was in the process of obtaining her identity when she fled on foot. The officer gave chase and caught up to her in the 100 block of Emma Court. The officer attempted to detain Ms. Vannersdale when she spun around and struck the officer just above his left eye with a screwdriver. Oh, gosh. Placing the officer at risk of serious physical injury or death. The officer was able to place Ms. Vannersdale in custody. The officer was transported to UL South for treatment and was released. Kenzie Vannersdale was charged with attempted murder of police and transported to the Bullitt County Detention Center. The investigation is continuing as well as Ms. Varnersdale's potential involvement in other criminal acts in Mount Washington earlier that morning. Well, not too good there. Really gross. It's a good thing she didn't get him in the eye and cause him to lose his eyesight. Okay, here's another really great. Here, this guy right here, ex-CIA. Get over there. Please get over there. So, Brian Jeffrey Raymond admitted to drugging and SAing several women at his embassy-leased housing in Mexico City and other locations between 2006 and 2020. Ex-CIA officer. Okay. Former CIA officer pled guilty on Tuesday to SAing and drugging more than 24 women in multiple countries. Brian Jeffrey Raymond, 47, admitted to drugging and SAing several women at his embassy-leased housing in Mexico City and other locations between 2006 and 2020. Let's get the press release. He also admitted to taking photos and videos of a total of 28 women who were nude or partially nude. Prosecutors said many of the recordings show him touching the women's bodies while they were unconscious or incapable of consent. His attempt to delete the explicit photographs and videos depicting the victims after learning about the criminal investigation. He attempted to delete them. As part of a plea agreement, Brian will face between 24 and 30 years in prison, supervised release for life, and mandatory restitution to his victims, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. He is scheduled to be sentenced on September 19th of 2024. The former CIA agent was the first accused of SA. He was first accused of SA on May 31st, 2020, when a naked woman was seen screaming for help from the balcony of his residence in Mexico City. According to a statement from the FBI Washington Field Office and the U.S. Department of State's Diplomatic Security Service office, which asked any potential victims to come forward. He apparently admitted to having relations with the woman, but the woman reported that she had no memory of the events after consuming drinks and food that was provided by him. By July of 2021, he had pled guilty to 2 counts of SA in which the victims were incapable of consent and 1 count of transporting obscene material. However, he withdrew his guilty plea about a year later, citing court documents. He was then indicted on 2023 on multiple SA offenses. The CIA condemns in the strongest terms the crimes committed by former agency officer Brian Jeffrey Raymond, who was arrested in 2020. The CIA said in a statement obtained by the New York Times, "As this case shows, we are committed to engaging with law enforcement to ensure that justice is served." His lawyer, Howard Bernard Katzoff, did not provide any comment. Okay, let's see here. Okay. So, Serenity Hawley was set to turn 18 2 days after her death. This Virginia teenager was killed in an apparent murder-suicide by her ex-boyfriend 2 days before her 18th birthday. The Blacksburg, Virginia Police Department said in a press release that the 2 high school students were found dead in a parking garage Tuesday, but they did not identify the teenagers. The mother of one of the students identified one of the teens as her daughter, Serenity Hawley. She told the outlet that Serenity was shot in the chest by her ex-boyfriend, who then fatally shot himself. Her parents also told the Romano Times and WDBJ7 that Serenity died from a murder-suicide. Police did not confirm if the deaths were the result of a murder-suicide, but did say that there was no ongoing threat to the community. Serenity, 17, had recently been accepted into Virginia Tech. Her mother, Heather Waldron, said that Serenity School had issued a no-contact order between the 2 teens and that there had been an incident between the 2 about a month before. To have known Serenity was to have known love and kindness, according to her GoFundMe description. She admitted it everywhere she went and left no one untouched in a room she shared. She was gorgeous, smart, and well-loved by everyone, taken entirely too soon from us. She's a daughter, a sister, a friend, a teammate, and a student that will be cherished and remembered by the memories we all shared with her. The description continues, she's innocence, beauty, happiness, compassion, and love, all blurred into one. We know the memory of her will serve as an ongoing inspiration and reminder to make love the center of your life. And I say if you're experiencing domestic violence, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Terrible. Terrible. How did a Tennessee college student dies after being shot in the head while walking on the track? What? This is crazy. How did this happen? College freshman. Okay, hold on a minute. Jillian Ludwig, originally from New Jersey, was a student at Belmont University. The college freshman was shot on Tuesday while walking on a track in Nashville, Tennessee, and she has died from her injuries. Jillian, 18, a student at Belmont University, was walking in Edge Hill Community Memorial Gardens Park, according to the Metro National Police Department. And police say the bullet was fired from a public housing complex across the street from the house. Police allege that Shaquille Taylor was shooting at a car. That's great. And one of the bullets hit Ludwig in the head. Taylor was arrested and charged with aggravated assault and tampering with evidence, according to jail records. His bond is set at $280,000. In a post Thursday, police say they're discussing modifying the charges. You really think so? Against Taylor with the district attorney's office following Ludwig's death. Jail records do not indicate if Taylor has retained an attorney. Ludwig, originally from New Jersey, had been in extremely critical condition before she died during the night Wednesday, police said. Jillian is an engaged member of our community who is known for her love of music, Belmont University President Greg Jones said in a statement after the shooting. A music business major and bass player, she is often found at concerts, cheering on fellow musicians and using music as a way to connect with those around her. Jillian is also an avid runner who enjoys being outside. Media interviewed a family friend who said Ludwig had played in 2 bands while at Lake House Music Academy in Asbury Park, New Jersey. That's terrible. Let's see what happened here. Oh, wow. Okay, so the New York couple mourned the death of their only child in an Australian plane crash. He was the joy of our lives. He could light up any room that he walked into, said William Jennings' mom. So the crash happened in Queensland over the weekend. William Jennings, 22, and 2 others were killed on Saturday when a firefighting plane they were on that was being used to track bushfires crashed in a remote area of the country. Wow. The recent Northeastern University mechanical engineering graduate had been in the country since late last month, helping to control the spread of the bushfires by operating a thermal imaging camera he had helped design. His parents, Joe and Denise Jennings, said, and I quote, "He was so excited to be able to use the camera that he had worked on and to be in Australia doing something to help the Australian people." The Boston resident had a passion for photography and the outdoors. Those who knew him said and shared his enthusiasm for both via his Instagram account, which feature the handle Go With Will. On Saturday, a rescue helicopter spotted the Turbo Commander propeller's aircraft's wreckage southeast of Mount Isa after workers at a nearby mine saw it crash. They observed a plane go down, and then they observed a plume of smoke. Superintendent Tom Arment told reporters per the newspaper. Australian aviation authorities reported that the plane plummeted to the ground from about 19,000 feet in about 1 minute. Halfway around the world, Joe told the media that he had a feeling that something was wrong when he saw on his own phone tracker that his son's phone had not moved from a location for many hours just after Will texted him that he was boarding a plane. Father's intuition told me something terrible had happened. A few hours later, police officers arrived at his home in Dix Hills, Long Island, to break the tragic news. Now Denise and Joe are working to bring their son's remains and have launched a GoFundMe to help with their efforts. More than $80,000 has been raised as of Wednesday afternoon. He could light up any room that he walked into, his mother said. He made friends so easily. He was so kind. He was the joy of our lives. Wow. Terrible. 22. Wow. Okay, and this case from so long ago, The little boy in the Las Vegas suitcase. Cairo Jordan's mother, who referred to the boy 5 as demon in online posts before he was found dead in a suitcase, pled guilty. And she's also wanted in connection into his death, and Cairo Jordan's mother also wanted in connection to his death. What do you mean she's still on the run? How did she plead guilty? Oh, I'm sorry. Why is that even there? She pled guilty in Indiana to her role in the death of the 5-year-old boy who was found dead in a suitcase. The boy's mother... Oh, I'm sorry. She's not his mother that pled guilty. The mother's still on the run. This woman, Dawn Coleman, 40, of Shreveport, Louisiana, pled guilty to conspiracy to commit murder, citing the plea agreement. Okay, the boy's mother is still on the run. And... hold on. Very confusing. Okay. And the mother, do we have her? The boy's mother, who is wanted in connection with his death, is still on the run. Dawn Coleman, 40, pictured there, of Shreveport, Louisiana, pled guilty to conspiracy to commit murder. The 5-year-old Cairo Jordan of Atlanta was found dead in a suitcase in the woods of rural Indiana near Louisville, Kentucky in April of 2022. Fingerprints for Coleman and the child's mother, Joshua Ludi Anderson, 37, were allegedly found on items in the suitcase, and that the phones owned by both women were near the site where the boy's body was found. Citing Coleman's arrest affidavit, reports both women allegedly published several social media posts referring to the child as a demon prior to his death. In a statement in May of 2022, police said Cairo died as a result of electrolyte imbalance, likely caused by viral gastroenteritis, per a toxicology and autopsy report. According to the report, the child's blood toxicology was negative and there was no physical trauma to the body, police said. Cairo's body was found in a blue hard case Las Vegas-themed suitcase. Part of the plea agreement, Coleman will serve 25 years in prison with 5 years probation and will have to testify against Anderson in any case related to Cairo's death. Police have been unable to locate Anderson, but Coleman was arrested in San Francisco in October of 2022. According to the court documents, Coleman allegedly told police that when she arrived home at the home of the Louisville apartment of the three, Anderson was on top of Cairo, who was lying face down on the bed. Coleman allegedly said that it was already done. Coleman then alleged that she helped Anderson put the body in the suitcase and that they drove into Indiana and dumped it into the woods. Crazy. Okay, anything else here? Let's see. Okay, I think hang on one second. Okay, we talked about this the other day, about this Pennsylvania nurse. Former nurse in Pennsylvania, Heather Presti, was arrested in May on homicide and other charges for allegedly prescribing excessive insulin to patients. She has confessed to trying to kill 19 other people On Thursday, the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office announced dozens of new charges against Heather Presti, 41, who was previously accused of having prescribed excessive amounts of insulin to patients, ultimately killing 2 patients and hospitalizing a third. Today, the Office of Attorney General filed charges regarding mistreatment of 19 additional patients at 5 different care facilities between 2020 and this year, says the November 2nd press release. Presti is accused of administering excessive amounts of insulin to these patients, some of whom were diabetic and required insulin, and some of whom were not. In total, 17 patients died who had been cared for by Presti. According to the affidavit of probable cause filed November 2nd, the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office said Presti of Natronia Heights admitted to trying to kill 19 other patients with insulin at 5 different rehabilitation centers. It's hard to comprehend how a nurse trusted to care for her patients could choose to deliberately and systematically harm them, Attorney General Michelle Henry said in a statement shared on Facebook on Thursday. The damage done to the victims and their loved ones cannot be overstated. Every person in a medical or care facility should feel safe and cared for, and my office will work tirelessly to hold Presti accountable for her crimes and protect care-dependent Pennsylvanians from future harm. The victims ranged in age from 43 to 104. Presti typically administered the insulin during overnight shifts when staffing was low and the emergencies would not prompt immediate hospitalization. In total, Presti has been charged regarding her mistreatment of 22 patients. The charges include 2 counts of first-degree murder, 17 counts of attempted murder, and 19 counts of neglect of a care-dependent person. According to the release, the alleged crimes happened at the following facilities: Concordia at Rebecca Residence, Bel Air Healthcare and Rehabilitation Guardian, Quality Life Services, Chicora, Premier Armstrong Rehabilitation and Nursing Center, and Sunnyview Rehabilitation and Nursing Center. Presti was arraigned on Thursday and waived her preliminary hearing on the charges. She remains in custody at Butler County Prison without bail. In May, Presti was arraigned on 2 counts of homicide, 1 count of attempted murder, 1 count of aggravated assault, 3 counts of neglect of a care-dependent person, and 3 counts of reckless endangerment. And per the May 25th press release from the Attorney General's office, these alleged acts happened at Quality Life Services, a skilled nursing facility in Chicora, where Presti worked as a registered nurse. According to a criminal complaint, a 55-year-old man died on December 4th, 2022. An 83-year-old man died on December 25th, 2022. A third alleged victim, a 73-year-old man, survived after emergency hospitalization after a potential lethal dose of insulin he received on August 31st, according to the release, which stated 2 of the 3 men were not diabetic. Horrible. Okay, let me go and see where you guys are and what you're doing. Okay. Hi, little lady. I don't know, little lady. I was a nurse, and all I want to do is protect my patients. Okay, so maybe she was what? Crying for help, you said? Crying for help? Okay. What? Okay, now what? I don't know what in the world is going on over here, because why am I so close like this to the screen? I know what it is. I have to start the new Zoom because I'm going to start the new Zoom, and that way if anybody wants to call in and talk about any of the cases, we can do just that. We have to start a new Zoom anyway. Better, right? But we're going to end the other meeting. Sorry, people in the other meeting. Participants, invite, copy invitation. I didn't get anything packed or shipped today. You don't even know. I don't even know. I've got so much going on. I had to bake cookies for Ethan. I had some projects I had to finish, things I had to do. Just been a little bit overwhelmed with a lot of stuff that I've got on my plate to do. So a lot of other stuff happening. So I'm going to try to hope that I can get it done tomorrow. I really am, because it has to be done. Your screen went back to normal. No, it didn't, because I just changed it. That's why, because I had to stop it. If I don't open a real Zoom, it won't. And now it is. But I'm gonna put the thing in case anybody wants to call in and talk about any of the cases that we had, because I'm gonna get some better sleep tonight. And at least it's early. We're on early. We're gonna see if anybody wants to talk, and then we are going to where is your angel? Wait. Where is my what angel? It's my angel's right here. What do you mean? Right there. Don't you see my angel? Right over here? I hope so. I hope you see my angel there. Okay, let me I have to open up everything because I shut everything down. I don't know what the heck is. What's going on with the glasses and stuff in here? What's this about? I don't know. I'm a little lost. Okay. So we got that, and oh wow, that's fast. First. Yeah. What's going on? Did you watch a movie?
I finished a movie.
What movie?
It was called, I forget, The Killing, and it was with Jake Gyllenhaal and some other guy. What's his name? The guy that played the Wolfman and Wolfman.
I don't know. I never watched the Wolfman.
It was so. I know. I never watched it, but I know he played it, and it was so good.
It was a true crime movie?
It was true crime and mystery, which I love. My favorites. You don't even have to watch a movie with what's going on in the world.
No. Not really at all, no.
This was totally disgusting.
A lot of, yeah, we had to catch up. We haven't, a lot to catch up on.
All the cases, all the murder, killed people.
But Donna Adelson, has she been arrested?
Who?
Donna Adelson. Donna Adelson, Charlie Adelson's mother. Has she been arrested? No.
No.
And that's what we're waiting for.
No.
Her arrest. And if you guys could hit the thumbs up, that would be great. You didn't see it? Do you see it now, Jane? You see it? Okay. good. I don't want you to be stressed out about that. My angels here. I have a lot of angels. I have a lot of angels. I have this one too. Is an angel. Yep. Okay.
Where those parents are, the ones that were the media moguls, the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Where would that be?
What are you talking about? The fraud ones? Which
the
ones?
media mogul, the talent agent.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Where's the father and mother?
Yeah, and they're saying that it's so unfair that people that their names are getting out. It's not fair.
Right.
What do they expect? That their names, their son is is the fourth with the same name. Their name is not going to get out.
Right.
His name is Sam. The fourth Sam. What the heck was his? What was this? Sam. What the heck?
Fourth. There's third. There's fourth.
Yeah, but no, I just forgot his last name. Sam Haskell. I don't know why I just drew a blank on Haskell. Sam Haskell IV. How are they not gonna? How's the name not gonna come out? I mean, it's just like the most stupid, entitled freaking thing you could ever imagine.
Right. That's
that it's not going to come out. I don't know.
This kid had such a sense of entitlement.
I don't know. But why? I mean, obviously, I don't think it's going to end well for the in-laws. Like, I think
No.
There was too many. I don't know. Horrible.
I'm thinking about him handing body parts to guys that were working at his house in bags.
I guess he just thought, like, oh, they're going to take $500 and get rid of this. And no one's ever going to be any the wiser.
Like, they're not going to look in the bag. What a dope.
Crazy.
Good, he'll get caught. He's caught.
Oh, he is caught already. He's already caught. Pulled over because I forgot to say hello to Margot. What about me, Liza? Hi, Liza. Hello, Linda. I hope Linda Uribe is okay. I haven't seen Linda Uribe.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a while.
Haskell but the son's Haskell, right? The fourth. And now they're like that. They're gonna put this, and the father already has scandal from the Miss America stuff and all the leaked emails. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Not a good guy.
I did not find anything new about Sam. I did not find anything new about Sam Haskell other than they showed two. I didn't. They showed two white. Yeah, I talked about the two white vehicles. Yep. That is what those two white vehicles. I did mention them. Two white SUVs. One Volkswagen Tiguan and a Nissan Pathfinder. I know, right? Rude of me, Carolyn. I hope you are well. Thank you, Eliza.
Just crazy situations. I can't believe the girl that stabbed her baby. That's just overwhelmingly
horrible.
Tragic.
Ugh.
And those two girls that were killed, how beautiful. And what a waste of their lives. The boyfriend stabbing once again. Just kill yourself, please. Don't drag other people into it before you kill yourself. What's the use of that? Maybe he thinks he'll be with her in heaven or something.
I don't know. Me too, Jane. Waiting for Donna Adelson to be arrested. Me too. Me too. Evie, why don't you come on up?
Come on, Evie.
Maybe you know something about this guy. Sorry, I was watching the news to see. Oh. You should know that better, Judy. I'm going to have the scoop for you. You don't have to go watch the news.
I don't see Evie in the chat anymore.
She was here when I saw before.
Yeah, me too.
Evie, come on. Come on up.
Evie. Join our chat. And the girl that was on the field, that was they were shooting at something else and they hit her, right?
Yes. Shooting at a car.
How unbelievable.
I hope they show something in court. I hate this heart thing that's on the bottom of the screen, and it cuts off the chat, and I can't read it.
And there's people sending smiley faces up during some of these stories.
Probably just a troll.
Yeah. How sick. But that girl that had the baby, her parents were pretty dumb. How could no one know she's pregnant?
I don't know. I can't say anything. I don't know the facts of it. I mean, I don't know whether they knew or they didn't know. I don't know.
I don't understand those stories where the girl and the parents don't know she's pregnant. Do you think she gets her period heavy?
No, well, that was because she gave birth at that point.
Oh.
Yeah. We hope they show Sam in court. Oh, okay. I got you, Judy. Got you.
The father has connections with the media, they may not.
I don't think he has any connections with the court system. Okay, it's not the media that decides that. It's the judge. If cameras and all, it's not media. All right, where is Evie? Evie.
Well, I haven't seen her name in the chat in a while. I'm looking.
Okay, let's see. Gotta change and go over here and over there.
And there's so many spouses killing each other. I don't know how anyone can get married.
Mm-hmm.
How do you trust someone that they're not going to kill you? I mean, these people were in the beginning. These people were all in love.
Well, I don't know if they're all in love.
Well, I'm sure the guy acted like it, or they wouldn't have been married. I'm sure the girl acted like it, or they wouldn't have gotten married.
Yeah, I don't know.
You didn't trust anyone. It's just crazy. I'm never dating again, let alone getting married.
I just don't understand something there. Okay, that's interesting. What was today? Today was Sunday.
Yeah. Now it's the 13th. It's Monday.
Oh, hold on a minute. Gotta say happy birthday to my cousin. Okay, otherwise I'll never remember that.
The one from Edisdale?
No. 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 Okay. I'm so hungry, I don't know why. Ooh, there are flowers. I'm starving. I don't know what to do.
Me too.
I forgot to tell Evie.
I want peanut butter cups, miniature peanut butter cups, Reese's.
For starving? That's what you want to eat? I really feel like having mushrooms sauteed, and I don't know. I've got a weird thing about me. I can watch something about E. coli and hamburgers, and I'm craving a hamburger. I'm telling you something really bizarre.
I love hamburgers.
I don't know if anybody else gets that, but I mean, you would think you would be turned off if someone's saying like, "Oh, these hamburgers." Yeah, but I'm like, no, I would like to have a hamburger.
Mushrooms texture is too fleshy.
Really, I like stuffed mushrooms, sautéed mushrooms, mushrooms on pizza, mushrooms, all kinds of mushrooms. I love mushrooms.
I think they're like slimy.
Really, I love mushrooms. I love marinated mushrooms. I love mushrooms.
But I like mushroom flavored stuff.
Yeah, I just
like
love
I
mushrooms.
like flavor, just not the texture.
Mushrooms. Okay. It's Monday the 13th. Okay.
Yeah.
Dan Markel's 50th birthday was a few days ago. Yeah. Today, I can't believe it's already mid-November. It's crazy.
Oh, we're halfway through November, Carolyn.
I know, that's what I said. It's almost mid-November. It's crazy. I don't even understand.
What did I keep saying?
Now, this Thursday is not Thanksgiving. It's next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
I was like freaking out. Freaking out. I have to go to, where do they go?
Crazy.
So I wanted to get to the outlets. She just staged her story about why she threw out the dehydrator. Oh, come on, she's guilty. But what are they going to get in Australia? Like 12 years or something? Killing 3 people, probably she's going to get 12 years.
That's crazy.
Oh, their sentences are really lenient there for like murder. Like you could end up like murdering like 3 people and still be getting out. No, I mean even at different times because the sentences are not long. They're very, very lenient in Australia.
Wow.
Not good.
No. There's no deterrent. Well, think about all the people in prison in the United States. It's no deterrent. Some people are addicted to being in prison.
Addicted to being in prison? Where's Sharon?
I don't know. She was in Zoom. Her and Margot were in Zoom, like before. A little while ago, I was in there. And who else was in there? Linda.
I just noticed a doctor from the My Case. Barb, did you listen to me? Oh my goodness, Barb. Isn't that the one I spoke about the other day? And he's tagging juror number 1, and he's tagging the law tubers and all those people, and he's promoting himself as the one of the ones that helped Maya's family win this huge settlement, and now promoting his YouTube channel, self-promotion with it, right? Yeah, I said that, Barb. Said it the other night. And juror number 1. Little bit of juror number 1. Yeah. And speaking of that, let me just see what's going on with that other thing. Hang on.
He's got his own YouTube channel already?
This doctor on the case, yes, he's promoting his channel like crazy.
That's insane.
A lot of people are doing it. Okay, so hold on a minute. I have to get something. 1 second. Right there. Save this. Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves. Let's see what the
Okay, so sorry, I'm looking at this Jules. So apparently there's someone that's claiming to have known either, I don't know, juror number 1 or something. I don't know what the heck is going on here. Okay, so someone said, hear you, defense motion to what is this? Jack Kowalski individually. What is this? I don't even understand. Juror misconduct. Okay, so somebody said that when you look at Beata, was a mother who would do anything to save her child. And this is someone's post, okay? So you can't just jump. This is a public post. And it says, this is the mindset of the jury. The Netflix documentary and supporters of the family. They cannot accept or don't know the full facts as to why this is nonsense. Beata was medically abusing her daughter. Again, this is someone's opinion. Beata wanted Maya to be the victim she could be seen to save. Beata's doctor shopped. Beata put her daughter's life in danger time and time again. Beata recorded everything. Beata harangued doctor and nurse after doctor and nurse. Beata's behavior was recorded by Maya. She said herself she wanted to please her mother. My life is a lie. Beata's irresistible impulse, suicide, was carefully planned over 24 hours. Beata, not one colleague has come forward to speak highly of her. Beata's suicide notes were all about revenge against a judge, not the hospital. There are acres of disturbing medical intervention I could highlight. This was not martyrdom. This was not motherly love. You hang on in there, always for your kids. It shows her combative state of mind. She was unwell. The hospital was absolutely right to report this. The awful Hallmark-esque documentary is completely responsible for this sugar-coated reaction from the ill-informed bunny boilers loving the verdict. And then someone said, the Netflix movie really did its job. I hope someone sues them. Unlikely, though, as I'm sure the people abused by the movie and the plaintiff's case are beyond ready to move on. Right. The problem is that this case fits really well into a certain narrative, so as long as you don't look too close at the actual facts, people aren't really interested in Maya or Beata, as individuals. They're interested in characters in a make-believe story. I was reading a comment on its other site, and a woman said she thought the hospital should be named after Saint Beata. I saw someone compare Beata to Jesus because she died for the hospital's sins. I'm not religious, but Jesus was not stoned to death. Oh my gosh, this person doesn't even know that. He didn't hang himself by choice. That's the most crazy thing I've ever seen, that they thought. There is a huge Catholic element to this. It has been exploited by the plaintiffs and swallowed by the naive. The symbolism of the clutched rosary and supposed declination of Catholic visitation and rites. It feeds into a subset of society. Had Beata not taken her life, there would be no trial. Maya would have a very difficult relationship with her mother. Jack would be on his third marriage. The martyrdom of Beata enabled a Netflix documentary and damages. Is that the love of a mother?
No.
Someone said, I'm pretty sure suicide is a big no-no in the Catholic Church. Someone said, you are correct. I didn't think of that. So her religion was fake. Big surprise. Again, these are public comments.
Well, the mother was sick and doing it for attention. She wasn't doing it for the money, and she would have killed herself.
Well, I don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know 100%, but why would a mother, why would she, I don't know. She's definitely ill to do that.
Munchausen's by proxy.
But that doesn't mean that you don't kill you. That's the suicide. Taking her life is another thing entirely. Let's see here.
But if she wanted the money, she would have stuck around for it. She wouldn't have killed herself. I don't think.
But there was no money then. There was no lawsuit.
Right.
Okay. Good grief. I hope not all three of my kids had theirs out. They're talking about tonsils. I don't know what they're talking about. Oh, boy. Do we know that doctors here in the United States tend to be more aggressive in interventions in general? I think not having a national healthcare system is a big problem with this. You just go to any doctor. I wonder if that enables Munchausen's by proxy more in this country. Maybe somebody would know.
I know quite a few people that have that.
A mother who would do anything for her child would have cooperated with CPS in the hospital to get her daughter back. Instead, she made a selfish decision that left both her children emotionally traumatized. Hospital did their job, and the mother made a choice. Literally, all she needed to do that night was stop screaming for ketamine and let the doctors do their job. Yeah, there was a power struggle, and she was not going to drop the rope, and she pulls that rope from the grave.
It's all about control.
For the verdict, they were very circumspect about Beata. Very few thought that the wrongful death claim would fly. I like to ask what the hospital did wrong because it gets thrown around, and I feel a lot really thought reporting the abuse is the first place was the crime. Nobody ever mentioned anything about Beata. So in short, I agree with you. I also feel that there are a lot of parents who over-medicalize their kids and they don't like seeing the extreme version of their behavior. I see a lot of people saying that this was about the hospital's treatment of Maya, not Beata, and it's so frustrating because of course this is about Beata. The jury found the hospital liable for her suicide. How could they reach that conclusion if they thought Beata was even possibly abusive? There's a reason that Maya and the comments online are interpreting the verdict as a vindication of Beata. Okay, let's see here.
There's nothing more selfish than taking your life, especially when you have children.
Dr. Mendez's chart. Someone's already spitting juror 1 facts. Let's see. I say. Juror number 1. I don't know what's going on in this case. I just, whatever at this point. Guess we're just gonna have to deal with it. Maybe I'm just thinking about this too black and white, but I don't understand how the jury could have listened to Shapiro's great closing with all the facts and evidence and not conspiracy theories and emotional manipulation, and come to the verdict that they did. To me, it seems that they just disregard credible evidence, but I guess it's up to the jury to determine what's credible or not. I just don't understand it. So let's see what they said. I think the plaintiff already won the emotional vote early on. Nobody on the jury cared what the actual evidence was presented. The people are stupid. I'm not even going to read. Very simple. We went on that one already. Let's see.
Call me crazy, but I think juries like have maybe 1 or 2 people that think the other way, and they just convince them because they want to go home. They just want to leave because they're so sick of being there for so long. And that was a long one.
Yeah, I don't know because they.
Because juror number 1 said something, right?
I don't even know. I'm not even. Yeah, this case is too. It's too crazy. The case made me so angry. I don't even want to go. Who said? Did you say Beata was evil?
Me?
Trudy's agreeing with someone. I don't know who that is. I didn't say she was evil. I don't know who. Oh, they're saying I agree with you, Al. I don't know.
I said suicide is like the most selfish thing you can do. Especially if you have children.
Oh, okay.
It's a very selfish act. Stick it out, fight it out. No problem is permanent. Suicide is.
Well, people that are supporting the case, say that she broke because the judge would not let her hug her child. But that doesn't make any sense, because if you're upset that you can't hug your child, then you think you would fight harder in order to do that. Because if you're worried that you can't hug your child, then you do something that will impair your ability to ever hug your child on this earth again. It just doesn't make sense.
A lot of people can't hug their children. They don't commit suicide. It's a horrible, horrible thing, but you let it ruin your life, or you go on.
No, we can fight for, like she could have fought. It was 87 days, and she could have did things that she was really abusive in the hospital to staff. She wouldn't even let her husband touch the daughter. It's just a lot of things that people are not being honest about.
It's hard because the state has so much control over your children. They can take them away for anything and keep them away for anything. They're just looking for a reason in most states. They want control. I think they're like public property.
I don't know. Okay, so I think we better do the word cookies, huh? Evie, I thought you were going to come on and talk about that case. Okay. Let me get the word cookies. Kevin must have finally went to bed. Okay. Let me pull this over. Okay. Okay. Stop. Good night, Judy. Oh, it is Sunday night. Yep.
Oh, I can't get the word cookies.
Hmm?
I can't get the word cookies. Let's see. One, two. Okay. Nope. Oh, there we go.
Hey, Emmy. How are you? Hello. I have liver, yeah. Jimmy? It's really loud. Thank you. My gosh, this TV, it's like it just has a mind of its own. He doesn't hear it when it's like crazy. There you are, Markel. Eeler. Weird. Very good. How's it doing? Okay.
We're done?
Hmm?
You finished that one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Gypsy, there's no, no. All right, Ipsy. Alright, I think I'll let go because I'm really tired tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for staying around, and we'll finish the games tomorrow. Good night, everybody. God bless, prayers, and have a good one. Bless. Love you guys. Oh.